Hey, what is going on there, YouTube family? Irvin Burton here with the self-defense company Santa Clarita. And today I want to teach you how to strike the eyes in 3 different ways that I think are very beneficial to self-defense. So one of the things I want to make clear up front is that doing things like striking the eyes, or like in my last video, striking the throat, the idea is to create a response so that you can finish the job, basically finish the guy off or run away or whatever the case may be. So understand that this is not one of those things where you're going to be trying to stand around and I'm going to be hitting the eyes, right? It's like pop, maybe you hit the eyes, you get a response, you go into, maybe some elbows, some knees, some punches, whatever. But a lot of these things are made particularly to get a response so that you can either defend yourself further or run away. So I just want to make that clear up front. So got my buddy Bob here, and yeah, let's get started on the 3 ways to strike the eyes. Number 1, this is what I like to call the finger jab. All right, so the finger jab is thrown just with the same mechanics as a punch. So just like you're going to throw a jab, all right, with the lead hand, okay, and then of course there's the rear hand. You're just going to open your hand up, curve your fingers just so slightly, okay? So you don't want to be like this, but you don't want to be straight either. You kind of want to be in the middle a little bit, and then you're just going to go wah, all right, and just wah, wah, just like a jab. So on Bob here, I'm going to be here, and I'm just going to, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm hitting both eyes in this particular case, and it doesn't matter which way he moves. Okay, chances are I'm going to get something. Okay, like I said, I'm trying to elicit a response, and when somebody goes for your eyes, your first step is to get away from that, because you can't condition your eyes. So again, hop, I'm coming in, all right, and I'm just hitting. I put Bob at about 6'3" right now. I'm 5'11", so he's a little bit higher, but it's the same principle as if I'm throwing a jab, right? If I'm throwing a jab here, or maybe even a vertical punch, right? Same principle. I'm just putting my hands out, right? And I can do it with my rear hand, like so. Boom, 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 boom. All right? So that's number 1. Number 2, okay, spear hand strike. Okay, in Kung Fu we call it the snake hand. Obviously they call it the spear hand in like Kempo circles. In self-defense circles, they call it the finger dart. I have a background in Kung Fu and combatives as well, so in combatives we call it the finger dart. But whatever you call it, doesn't matter. Point is, you have the same principle, but the fingers are together this time. So instead of having them apart, like in the finger jab, you're going to have them together. Okay? And when I aim for the eye, I'm not aiming for both eyes. I'm aiming for one eye. Okay, so this is more of a precision strike. It's more of an advanced strike, but it's something that you can still practice and get good at. Okay, pop. I'm just going for one eye. And it's the same mechanics that I use for the jab, as well as the finger jab. Okay, so it's the same thing for the punch and the finger jab. I'm using the same mechanics, but I'm only hitting that small target, which I know is hard to hit, but it's an option, right? Like I said, it's an advanced strike, and you can get good at doing it. And when you see the opportunity, you can use it, right? Pop, pop, okay? So, and then of course you can use the rear hand as well, which is typically the power hand. I'm actually standing with my right lead. I'm orthodox in boxing and kickboxing, but for the sake of the video, I'm standing over here because it looks awkward every other place I try. So anyway, rear hand, strike, 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 strike. Okay, so it just depends. I can hit whichever eye I want to hit, doesn't matter, but I use the same principle. So my 3rd and favorite one actually comes from when you're standing square. Okay, so one of the things about a self-defense situation is that you're typically standing square to someone, okay? you're not typically here unless there's some type of threat and you can see that coming. So what I like to call a preemptive threat. Unless there's a preemptive threat, most people are not standing like this, right? Ready to box or whatever. And I know you can get into that stance quickly, so I understand that. But what I'm saying is that this is really good for when maybe this guy's drunk, right? Bob is drunk. He's talking. He's really cool right now, but then he maybe had a few too many. You know him from school or work or whatever, and he decides he wants to get aggressive. Okay, the attack I'm using is I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm going to go right into his eyes. So I'm literally going to come here and I'm going to go. Okay, now obviously, use this in the appropriate place. I know I said co-worker or friend from school or whatever, but the reality is that this technique is still aimed at protecting yourself, and if you do get a finger in the eye, it can cause permanent damage. So just understand the context in which you're using it, right? You don't want to use it against your drunk uncle, but hey, this guy you don't know, and maybe you were cool with him at first, and then he starts acting crazy. Hey, you may want to show him. So again, he comes in, we're talking, I'm like, hey, take it easy. Boom. Okay, same thing. And the way I practice that is I can go from either side. I can go to my right, okay, take a step at an angle. Think of it as a V shape. I know we don't have anything down here, but think of it as a V shape, an angle. I come in here, or I come the other way. I come left. Boom, right? So, boom, boom. Okay, so again, 3 ways to attack the eyes. Number 1, finger jab. Okay, just coming in, doing the finger jab. All right, number 2, spear hand strike. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, hitting that. Number 3, okay, what I like to call the thumb press. Okay, so thumb, one side, thumb, the other side. All right, and those are 3 ways that you could attack the eyes in a street fight. So get out there, train it, learn it, master it, make it yours.